A healthy 9-foot great white disappears off the Australian coast. After 4 months of normal hunting, her satellite tag recorded a violent plunge to 1,900 feet and a sudden, impossible temperature spike, evidence that the shark was swallowed alive. The official explanation blames bigger predators, but the stomach heat does not match any known killer. If the apex predator itself can be devoured in an instant, what else is lurking in the deep that science has missed? The digital evidence recasts the entire mystery, and what it reveals is more terrifying and more real than any legend. Shark Alpha was no outlier. She measured 9 feet from snout to tail, a streamlined powerhouse weighing close to 300 pounds. By every scientific metric, she was the picture of health, a prime female great white, old enough to hunt solo, but still years from her maximum size. For 4 months, her movements traced a familiar pattern along the southern Australian coast. She patrolled kelp forests, skirted the edge of the continental shelf, and made steady, purposeful dives into the canyons, where seals and fish gathered in the upwellings. The satellite tag recorded her daily rhythms: long glides near the surface at dawn, deeper forays into the cold dark as the day wore on, then back again to warmer shallows. Never once did her path suggest distress or injury. Her speed and route matched the confident, calculated behavior of an apex predator in her prime. She hunted, rested, and navigated the currents with the efficiency of a shark built for survival in a world of competition. In these waters, a healthy adult great white like Alpha should have been untouchable. She moved through her territory with the certainty of a top hunter, blending strength, instinct, and experience. The data painted a portrait of a thriving animal, until the moment everything changed. The tag that washed ashore 2.5 miles from Shark Alpha's last known location was more than a piece of lost equipment. It was the critical link between the vanished shark and the data that would soon shake the research team. The device itself, a compact, pressure-resistant satellite tag engineered to withstand the harshest marine conditions, showed telltale signs of its ordeal. Its plastic casing bore streaks of pale discoloration, chemical bleaching consistent with prolonged exposure to digestive acids. The metal contacts, designed to resist corrosion from seawater, displayed a subtle etching that experts recognized as the work of stomach fluids, not the ocean. Before any conclusions could be drawn from the data, the tag's integrity had to be verified. A tag engineer trained in both electronics and field forensics took the lead. Every step was logged, including the tag's recovery, its chain of custody, and the environmental conditions during storage and analysis. The engineer confirmed the device's sensors had maintained baseline stability for the entire 4-month deployment. Temperature, depth, and light readings showed no drift, no erratic jumps, and no evidence of malfunction. The minute-by-minute logging was intact, with no gaps or corrupted files. Physical inspection and technical validation left no doubt. The tag's record was genuine. Its journey from shark to shore, through a living predator's digestive tract, was now admissible evidence. The data inside would soon reveal the full story of what happened to Shark Alpha. The tag's digital record, once decrypted, delivered a sequence of numbers that defied logic. At precisely 11:23 p.m., the temperature reading shot from a steady 46 degrees Fahrenheit to a blistering 78 degrees Fahrenheit, an increase of 32 degrees in less than a minute. No gradual climb, no environmental warning. One moment the tag was adrift in the cold Southern Ocean. The next it was enveloped in heat. Simultaneously, the depth sensor documented a violent plunge. In seconds, the tag and whatever carried it was dragged downward, hurtling from the sunlit shallows to a depth of 1,900 feet. This was not a slow sinking descent. The data showed acceleration, a rapid pull only a living force could produce. There was no sign of a struggle, no erratic thrashing to suggest a fight for survival. The event was abrupt, decisive, and complete. For the next 8 days, the tag's world narrowed to darkness and warmth. Light sensors flatlined, confirming total blackness. Temperature held steady at 78 degrees Fahrenheit, far above the frigid water outside. The tag never surfaced, never cooled, never escaped. Its only movement was a slow drift through the deep. The conditions were absolute darkness and constant heat. The attack had occurred near Bremer Canyon, a vast underwater gorge where the continental shelf drops off into the abyss. These are hunting grounds for the ocean's most formidable predators. Yet the numbers on the screen outlined a crime scene with no known culprit. A 300-pound great white, healthy and unchallenged, had vanished in a single silent act. The team now faced a puzzle that could only be solved by eliminating the impossible. Orcas hold a reputation as the ocean's most strategic hunters. In waters from South Africa to the Pacific Northwest, killer whales have been observed targeting great white sharks with chilling precision. Their approach is clinical. A pod will isolate a shark, flip it upside down to induce tonic immobility, and extract the liver with near-surgical accuracy. The aftermath often leaves the rest of the carcass untouched, a telltale sign that points to orcas. These apex mammals are warm-blooded, maintaining an internal temperature between 96 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit, far above the 78 degrees Fahrenheit reading locked inside the tag's data. Orcas are air breathers, restricted to dives that last minutes, not days. Even their most daring hunts rarely reach the depths recorded by the tag, and certainly not for 8 days straight. When orcas strike, the effect on the local ecosystem is dramatic. Great whites abandon their territory en masse, fleeing for miles in every direction. Yet after Shark Alpha vanished, the remaining sharks continued to patrol Bremer Canyon, as if nothing had happened. The forensic evidence, the temperature mismatch, and the absence of a mass exodus all point away from orcas. The methodical, high-temperature, deep-water attack captured in the tag's record does not fit any known cetacean pattern. The search for the real predator must look elsewhere. Bremer Canyon's depths are home to legends, none more enduring than the giant squid. With tentacles lined with rotating hooks and eyes the size of basketballs, these cephalopods inspire tales of deep-sea battles with sperm whales. Some reach lengths of 40 feet or more, lurking where sunlight never touches the water. A predator like that could, in theory, grapple with a 9-foot shark. The canyon's cold, nutrient-rich waters support a thriving population of squid, making them a natural suspect in any deep-water disappearance. But biology stands in the way. Giant squid are ectotherm animals, cold-blooded creatures whose internal temperature mirrors their environment. In the frigid darkness of Bremer Canyon, their bodies stay locked at 46 degrees Fahrenheit, identical to the water around them. They lack the machinery to generate heat or sustain a pocket of warmth. Even during the most violent struggles, a squid's core never rises above the ambient chill. The tag's data is unyielding. A sustained 78 degrees Fahrenheit environment for 8 days rules out any invertebrate, no matter how massive or formidable. No squid, however powerful, could have created the thermal signature recorded inside the tag. The search for a predator capable of such a feat would have to turn back to the realm of warm-blooded killers. Megalodon. The name alone conjures images of a prehistoric monster lurking in the depths, a shark that could reach 60 feet, its jaws wide enough to swallow a great white hole. For years, theories have swirled around the idea that this ancient predator somehow survived extinction and hid in deep ocean trenches beyond the reach of science. The internet is full of grainy sonar images and rumors of massive shadows off the Australian coast. But when marine paleontologists examine the evidence, the myth collapses under its own weight. No living megalodon has ever been found. Not a single fresh tooth, not a new bite mark on a whale, not a strand of DNA. The fossil record is clear. Megalodon vanished more than 3 million years ago. Its teeth, some as large as a human hand, turn up only in ancient sediments, never in modern prey. A shark of that size would leave a trail, scattered bones, enormous wounds, entire ecosystems rearranged by its appetite. Yet in decades of research, not one credible sign has surfaced. The oceans are vast, but they are not empty. A 60-foot super predator could not hide unnoticed, not with the food demands and territorial footprints Megalodon would require. Sensational claims make headlines, but the absence of physical proof is absolute. The predator that consumed Shark Alpha was real, alive, and something marine science can actually measure. Great white sharks possess an internal system so advanced that it sets them apart from almost every other fish in the ocean. Inside their bodies runs a network of blood vessels called the rete mirabile, Latin for wonderful net. This structure acts as a biological heat exchanger, capturing warmth generated by the shark's powerful swimming muscles and redirecting it back into the core of the body, instead of letting it escape through the gills. As warm, oxygen-rich blood flows out from the muscles, it passes alongside colder blood returning from the gills. The two streams run in opposite directions, separated only by thin vessel walls. Heat transfers from the outgoing to the incoming blood, maintaining a steady supply of warmth even as the shark moves through icy water. This system allows great whites to achieve what scientists call regional endothermy. Unlike most fish, which match the temperature of their environment, great whites can keep their stomachs, eyes, and brains significantly warmer than the surrounding sea. In water as cold as 46 degrees Fahrenheit, a great white's stomach can reach and maintain 78 degrees Fahrenheit. The difference is not a matter of a few degrees, but a full 30-degree gap, enough to accelerate digestion, sharpen senses, and power bursts of speed during a hunt. The rete mirabile is most concentrated near the red muscle tissue that lines the shark's flanks. Here, the heat generated by constant swimming is efficiently trapped and recycled. But the system does not stop at the muscles. Specialized branches funnel this warmth to the shark's vital organs, including the stomach. When a great white feeds, this heated blood bathes the stomach lining, creating an internal environment that can digest large, protein-rich meals at a pace that would be impossible for a cold-blooded predator. No other animal in Bremer Canyon's depths combines this heat retention ability with predatory power on such a scale. The 78-degree Fahrenheit reading inside the recovered tag is a direct fingerprint of the great white's physiology. Only a shark equipped with a fully functional rete mirabile could generate and sustain such a temperature in the frigid dark, transforming the stomach into a furnace, and the predator into a master of the cold abyss. A 9-foot great white is formidable, but in these waters, size is everything. The evidence points to a predator at least 16 feet long, weighing over 4,000 pounds, twice the length and nearly 15 times the mass of shark alpha. For a predator to engulf a 300-pound shark so swiftly, its jaws must open wider than a man is tall. The largest great whites ever recorded, like the legendary deep blue, reach 20 feet and 6,000 pounds, with a mouth that could easily swallow a grown person whole. In the cold, dark canyons off the continental shelf, only these giants rule. Surgical in execution, the attack left little trace. The absence of thrashing in the tag's data suggests an ambush, an assault from below delivered with overwhelming force. Great whites are built for this kind of predation. Their bodies are dense with muscle, their jaws lined with serrated teeth, and their approach is often invisible until the final moment. A single upward burst, jaws unhinged, and the smaller shark had no chance. The tag's abrupt temperature spike and instant descent point to a kill so efficient, the victim never fought back. Cannibalism among great whites is not rare. Juveniles fall prey to adults, and even embryos consume their siblings before birth. But few encounters leave such a clean digital signature, a perfect match to the stomach heat of a giant predator, with no sign of struggle or escape. The tag's journey through the digestive tract and the bleaching from stomach acid all confirm the fate of Shark Alpha. She was consumed by a member of her own kind, a shark at the very top of the food chain. In the deep canyons, these super predators hunt with patience and precision. They wait in the cold, conserving energy, until a target crosses into range. Then, in a single burst, the hierarchy of the ocean is enforced. The data from Alpha's tag is more than a record of loss. It is a glimpse into a world where only the largest survive. Far below the surface, a different kind of great white carves out its existence. These giants are rarely seen, spending much of their lives patrolling the edges of the continental shelf, where the ocean floor drops into darkness. Their diet is a testament to their power: whale carcasses, giant squid, and other sharks, including their own kind. Longevity works in their favor. Some individuals may roam these canyons for decades, growing larger and more cunning with every year. Unlike the sharks that cruise coastal shallows, these deep specialists avoid fishing boats and cameras, thriving in places where few humans venture. Here, survival depends on patience, size, and an appetite for high-protein prey. The disappearance of a shark like Alpha is not an isolated event, but part of a hidden hierarchy that governs life in the ocean's most remote hunting grounds. No matter how much data has been gathered, the ocean keeps its secrets well. The disappearance of shark Alpha and others like her exposes a blind spot in our understanding of deep-water predation. Most telemetry tags track surface migrations, but the real action happens far below, out of reach from standard equipment. Expanding the use of high-resolution satellite tags, deploying remotely operated vehicles into canyons like Bremer, and collecting environmental DNA from the depths are essential next steps. Each new tool can help close the gap between what's guessed and what's proven. Theories must be tested against hard evidence, DNA traces, bite marks, and digital signatures that can be independently verified. Only by pushing technology deeper and cross-checking every result can science move beyond speculation. The challenge is clear. The more we learn, the more we realize how much remains hidden. In the ocean's depths, predators write their own rules, often in total darkness. Today, scientists estimate that over 80% of the deep sea remains unexplored, its top hunters mostly unseen. The real monsters are not myths. They are apex predators evolving out of sight. As we probe deeper, we are forced to confront one fact. True terror still swims just beyond the reach of our imagination. Share your thoughts on what else might be lurking below.